Greetings, this is Stephen Munn from Woven Bushcraft. I'm going to show you some of the tools that we need to make a sapling bow. Don't necessarily need all of these, just some of them might be useful, and obviously in a true survival situation you'll be lucky if you've got any of them. The main ones I would say that you would need, if you're doing it in a workshop, then you're going to be using that, which is a froe, for splitting your timber. In the first instance, you take your sapling, which is going to be a sort of 50-60mm diameter, you're going to split it down the middle to produce 2 staves, if you're lucky. You might get more likely you end up with 1 stave and a bit of broken wood, but you use that plus one of those to hammer it down and split the wood. You steer the crack using the handle on the froe. That's if you've got the access. If you haven't got that tool, you can use a good thin-bladed Bowie knife to do the same in the field, and again you can improvise a piece of wood to bang it with. Harder to use because the blade's slightly thicker and harder to steer the crack, but again you can do it. Most of my sapling bows that are made in the sort of field I make using a selection of axes. So we've got that nice little one sharpening, cutting down the limbs, and this one here, which is also slightly rougher work. You want this axe to be as sharp as humanly possible, because in theory it's got to be able to shave the back of your arm. This one is, I've sharpened it, but it's still not quite good enough. I don't know, not too bad. So you need it for that purpose. Hang on, I shall know. What else? You need a small penknife for final cutting notches, shaving off the ends. And again, that's a great, excellent tool, but you can get other things. And then, that's my general purpose sheath knife, which if all else fails, you could make a bow with just that. It will be harder work, but it can be done. Right, I shall stop this for a moment while I have a quick demonstrate of splitting a piece of wood. Stand by. Right, next trick is we're going to take this piece of hazel and split it down the middle to try and make 2 staves. Now this may go wonderfully, or it may go horribly wrong. You have to be prepared for both eventualities. At this point, because the wood is slightly oval, you have to decide whether you're going to head for a flat bow or a more traditional bow. I think it's going to be easier to split it as a traditional bow, so I'm going to go straight down the middle. We take our froe, I'm going to go there. I have to keep knocking it to straighten it. Give a little twist every so often if you think it's going to. See, not going too badly. Oh, using the hammer. have our staves. Right, next, right, so I've taken this stave. Now as you see, it's got a nice twist on it, so really I needed to worry about which way I was going to do it, which means we want the middle of the bow, where the handle's going to be that flat, which means we're going to end up with two tapering limbs, one with a slight twist to one way, one with a slight twist to the other. This is not a problem, in theory. I'm going to find a piece of wood to rest on. Right, so what we want to do is, keeping that handle square, you basically make the bow and you've got to keep trying to do it evenly. The main problem is, as we shave it down, it gets more wibbly and wobbly, which is can be dangerous. But there you can see we're already making it squarer. Now, I'm going to stop the video there and carry on whittling this down, and I'll come back to you when we've got it roughly to shape. But you can see the principle. Using this hand axe, we can get it roughed out until we got pretty much our rough stave. Now, we've already got a little bit of bend on that. By the time we finished, there'll be a lot more, and then we move on to tillering it, where we're going to be cutting smaller bits of wood off using pen knives or sheath knives. You don't want to use this too much, because if you go too far you can't go back. You can never put wood back. You can only ever take it away. So you have to be careful. Also, ignore the fact I'm wearing sandals. I shouldn't be wearing sandals with an axe hand flying about. I should be wearing toe protectors. But it's a very hot day. Right, we'll stop there for now, and when you come back, that will have been roughed out. So I've just come back to this to show you the bottom end, because it was just slightly off camera. Just give you an idea how easy this is using this hand axe. In case you're wondering about the earpiece, by the way, I'm listening to the cricket. An Englishman's got to listen to the cricket in the summer. Right, I shall stop again. I just wanted you to see how that bottom is shaved down. Similarly this end, where you're trying to sort of make a nice tapering end. Okay, I should stop that again, and you can stop for a while. I'm just rounding off the corners. I've still got quite a twist on it, which eventually I shall work out. Now, as you see, we're starting to get a bit of bend. But we're going to need a lot more wood off this side. This side's a lot thicker, between the sort of bottom ends of the branch from which this stave was cut. Okay, well, I think I have to stop for now. When you come back to me, I want to have got that roughed down to a point where we can start thinking about putting a string on it, and then we can start seeing how we develop the shape.